Hi, Butch. So nice to have you pop
Uh,
here today. How are you doing?
thank, thanks, Hal. All good. Very, very happy for some rain here in Hwange. It's a wet, drizzly day, and we're loving it here.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a really good rainy season in Hwange, they're saying, predicting, right?
Yeah, so far so good. Hey, we've got lots of grass coming up. All the elephants are happy. The rhinos are happy. The baby wildebeest and baby impala are all out. Their moms have all got lots of grass and food. The pans are filling up. The ducks are breeding.
Mm.
The fluffy white clouds. Life is good. Yeah.
Special time to actually go and visit the park, we'd really recommend it, right? Get down to
Yeah.
Vermont and Camelthorne this time of the year. It's just so productive. So any last minute safari goers, we know that's one of the best areas in Africa to go and do some game viewing now. But that's really super to hear. But thank you so much for popping on today. I'm just, last year, the achievements that Imvelo had in the conservation and community space, which has always been our ethos and the work that Imvelo does is just so tangible and the numbers are so huge. Can you just give us just a quick overview of last year and what was actually focused on and the impact that Imvelo made?
Yeah. Hale, so the big issue we had to get through last year was we had two things that we were kind of dealing with. One was coming out of COVID. Camps were all a little bit tired. So we did a huge amount of work on camps last year. Remember, we literally went through it from top to bottom, and it's almost a new camp. The buildings are the same, but nothing else. Everything else we put in new in there, and I'm really proud how that turned out. We did the main lodge in Bomani, and we did quite a bit in the rooms as well in Bomani and Camelthorne, but more to do this year. Josie got a lot of love last year, but we're really happy that we managed to really start pushing the camps back up or in a place where they're better than they've ever been. But the big thing we had to deal with last year, Hels, was the drought. We had this terrible drought that unfolded at the beginning of last year, and we knew straight away that we're going to face a lot of wildlife mortality if we didn't get on top of it. We did get on top of it. I'm real pleased to say. We deepened a lot of boreholes. We put bigger pumps in, bigger solar panels. We did all kinds of stuff. And by the beginning of last dry season, I was predicting possibly thousands of dead elephants dying in Hwange. As it turned out, they didn't. And I know on our side we lost some elephants, but nothing like any kind of large numbers. And a lot of that is because of the work we did. We counted up by the time we finished the season. Anna doing the numbers as usual came up. She reckoned we pumped zero point 0.8 billion liters of water. Staggering.
Staggering.
And so what effectively happened was that by the end of the dry season, pans were nice and full still, which meant animals could come in, they could drink, and they could turn around and get back out to feeding grounds. There was no queuing and waiting for water. In droughts past, often the elephants come and they've got to wait for an hour or two, or they fight to get to the water, and it's more stress and trouble. But that didn't happen. And I really think providing more water there just really helped get the animals through. The other big things, of course, all the stuff we did for the communities. We did massive amounts of feeding. We did 450,000 school lunches. We did at least 130-ton
You know,
load of maize.
I have to jump in there
Um,
because, you just say 450,000 meals like it's such a massive number. And the work that goes on behind the scenes to actually source the food, get it to those children. And what I've always noticed, and it's something I do want to just mention, is how when children have that motivation to come and have that meal, which could be their only meal they get a day, now they're coming to school, they are having a full tummy, they're concentrating. I mean, we've seen the pass marks go up tremendously. So it's that domino effect of, not only making sure they have the nourishment and nutrition, but how it also actually plays out in the educational sphere too is just tremendous. So
yeah,
it has so much of an impact.
yeah. We found out right from the beginning when we first started school lunch program more than 10 years ago, 15 years ago probably, is that the kids it keeps attendance at school at 100%. During these drought years when, as you say, kids are missing meals, they're only getting one meal a day, maybe one every 2 days. suddenly they just don't have energy to come to school. But provided we can keep the kids coming to school, they still don't fall behind a year. They still got a fighting chance for exams in a year or two. And yeah, it's a big win. The other big one we had last year, our annual Smile and See Safari. That's with our overseas doctors and dentists that join with a strong Zimbabwean team. And we go around the district. Is this last year again was the big, every year we seem to just break records, but this one we did 7,200 patients in 6 clinics, in 6 consecutive days. Just incredible hard work. But yeah, these numbers, as you say, they roll off. We've done nearly 50,000 patients now in that program. Exciting things are adding on to it. We did polio vaccinations added on to it, filling in gaps where Ministry of Health, there were unvaccinated kids out there. We did it became a Smile and See and Sew, we opening up these sewing clubs all around the district that are sewing all kinds of stuff for people. But one of the important things is, of course, hygienics, washable sanitary pads for ladies, and in particular schoolgirls, high school girls. They go through a tough time at high school when if they don't have access to that kind of stuff. So all kinds of good stuff there. Really, again, you put it in context. I know 4 urban hospitals in Bulawayo town, that's our provincial town. We do more in a day under tents, under trees than are done in 4 urban hospitals. So it's kind of really proud of that program. It's massive, incredible. But anyway.
It just shows again when we talk about our communities being our partners, it is really having, yourself, Hannah, the team that we have on the ground there, and it's talking to them and finding out what do they really need, where can we really make a difference to their lives. They can live with more dignity. They can actually have those basics provided. And, to me, that is the sign of a true partnership. It's not just us throwing what we think they need. It's also, it's really listening to them and then delivering on that. And, it's relentless in terms of, the passion and the spirit that Imvelo continuously puts in. So a big well done and, to the team, and just another reason Imvelo continues to just be this gem, this shining gem in the Hwange National Park area and district, and just really leading with, from the front and by example. So yeah, I'm very excited to hear what, as we always spearhead new innovations in this space, what Imvelo has on the plans for 2025.
So yeah, Al, so one of the very big things we did last year that I didn't mention earlier was, of course, we opened up Sanctuary 2, and our second rhino sanctuary. And this is a community-based rhino sanctuary. It's on communal land. It's not in a park. It's not on private land, but it's land that communities have set aside deliberately so they can bring rhino onto their land, and they can become part of looking after rhino and hopefully earning the benefit. So Sanctuary 2 opened last year, and community down around Mlevu and Hwange villages, they set aside an area 5 times larger than Sanctuary 1, so they really have dived into it. And they're from a community that, frankly, a little bit further away from all the tourism love, so they can see clearly what they need to do. They need to kind of step things up, and that's good that they're doing that. And what we've managed to do down there is we have turned an old camp, rebuilt it and fixed it up, and restarting a volunteerism camp down there. And I'm not sure what we call it, but it'll kind of be a 3-star camp, but it's right embedded in Sanctuary number 2. And it's in an area that there are lots of fun things to do, well off the beaten trail. I'm really excited about bringing that online this year, I spoke earlier about the camp refurbs and stuff we're going to be doing with Bomani and Camelthorne to kind of try and get them up to Nahimba level again. And they're getting that way, and they did very well last year. Very few, in fact, virtually no guest complaints. You and I were talking earlier about our guest questionnaires, and we had 99.76% scored an A or a B, so we either met or exceeded expectations. So I think that's a good measure. People are happy, people are having fun out there, they're loving it, and they're loving Hwange, But level volunteerism camp, we're ready to roll there, and all kinds of fun things to do. They're a little bit different, much more immersive. Our typical safaris at Camelthorne or Bomani, or even down at Josie, we definitely immerse our guests in both conservation activities and in community-based activities. But here we're looking to take it, one level more than that, And I can see where this camp might be really a real nice 2 or 3 day add-on for a family. that's on a more typical safari circuit, looking for a few days where a family can enjoy something different and perhaps expose their kids to something different. Or groups of people can get together and say, hey, come on, let's go and spend a week or 10 days down here and let's go and try and make a difference. So I believe it appeals to a variety of different people that might be thinking about safaris. But we're right next to Hwange National Park, so there's still plenty of opportunity to go for game drives in the park and go to Hwange's waterholes and go and have bush lunches and go and do all the fun things that we do at all the other Imvelo properties. So that's kind of how we envisage Mlevu.
Yes, so you can come and do, all the core safari activities at Bamani or
Yes.
Camouflage that Imvelo is known for, the hike, the Elephant Express, the walking, the night drives, the rhino. And then if you want to go even further into actually helping make a difference, like with your days, then you come and spend a night or 2 or 3 at the new ecotourism camp. But still, you don't have to now not do anything safari related. So you're saying you can then still go and do a game drive in the evening. So it's a continuation, but then just a slight variation on what maybe the core kind of purposes of those few days. But tell me, just going through that and listening to you, how many nights do you think would be a good amount of time to come and give of your time and resources as a volunteer and a guest to come to something like the Mlevu ecotourism to, feel that you are fulfilled through the work and to also make a significant impact, with all these projects?
Yeah, Haley, it's so hard because I know different people have got different aspirations, but I know if you went and spent 3 nights there, you'd have 2 full days. And in those 2 full days, you could spend a lot of time helping the Cobra Rangers with some of the rhino work. You could spend a lot of time up the local school. You probably even have time to visit one of the engines and pumps and do some work with the game water supply. So that would I would suggest would be probably what you want a minimum. You could do 2 nights, but certainly 3 nights would be a good starting point. But I don't think you would have any problem at all if you can spend 7 nights down there of being busy doing different stuff all the time, all the way through a week there. Very, very easy because there's so much to do. You're right in the middle of an area where there's lots of different things to do and lots of different things going on. And like I say, you can start one morning off going for a run with the cobras. Another morning, go for a walk with the kids. Another morning is actually just going into the park to go and look for lions, an early morning patrol. So there's lots of stuff to do in a short distance from there. The camp's comfortable. You're not gonna want for anything.
3 nights to a week. I mean, the amount of things that you were talking about there, I think if this is somebody's passion and they are even thinking that this could be the type of work they're really interested in going into, I think coming and really spending time with the team and learning from them, you can spend a good amount of time there. And I think we priced as such that it's more accessible for people to spend longer there too, right?
Yes, and that's obviously one of the things too, is you can add a couple of days here at a much more reasonable price than perhaps you might be paying at the more upmarket camps, and it gives you another 3, 4, 5 days in Africa, 6, 7 days in Africa that you might not otherwise be able to do. So that's another way to package this thing. If you're looking at that, instead of coming for a week at the more higher price range camps, you could come and spend 10 days for not very much more money by staying at a camp like this, and frankly, come away from it with a different feeling, having maybe I've done something a little more than other people have done. When I travel through Vic Falls Airport, I can look at other tourists and say, well, hang on, I did something you guys didn't do, and I'm really proud of what I did. So it's definitely a way that I would look at it.
The words rewarding and gratifying a lot in there, and I think this is exactly what that would be. I think blanket use of the words like safari with purpose is spoken about a lot, but this is really it, right? This is like the coal face of a safari with purpose.
Yes.
As you were talking up through it, I could just see this really resonating with such a variety of different types of people, from, as you say, like families with kids that want to afford their children that opportunity to really come and integrate with the Zim kids and have that great cultural experience and wildlife. I can see it resonating with, kids that are thinking, what do they want to do with their life? Do I maybe want to be a ranger? Do I want to be an ecologist? Let me come and spend some time on the ground, do some practical work and see if this is for me. Just as much all the way through to, families that have maybe spent already, like say 6 nights in our Imvelo circuit, but then, do really want to actually just give more of their time and just come for a couple of nights. And as you say, go back really feeling like they have done something meaningful and different, and immersed with Zim and Hwange in a different way. So I think it's such a great spectrum, that it would appeal to so many different people for different reasons. And all of them would be making an impact.
Yes. And from my point of view, the reason that I'm passionate about it is that I know it's making a difference to the communities that live on the coalface of Hwange National Park, that are dealing with all the issues of the wildlife. They are dealing with very, very tough lives and making their lives better, and it being linked with tourism, and they can see that tourists are helping them, and they know the tourists are coming here and they're coming to see wildlife, and them linking all those 3 elements together. It's not only life-changing for the people, but it really makes a difference for the conservation of wildlife and for the conservation of Hwange Park. And you know what? It's making the world a better place. So happy days.
And I would even really encourage our tour operators that support us, when they're coming down to see the camps and experience Hwange, just to build in that extra 2 nights and come and spend some time there. Because, the people we work with in this industry, a lot of them are in it because they absolutely love Africa, the people, the wildlife. And so what a great way now to, if they're thinking where they want to go and see this year and learn more of, come and do this. Come and spend time, obviously, seeing the Imvelo circuit, and then add on those extra 2 nights and come and do something that is really meaningful in 2025. So I also kind of put the challenge out to our trade, right, to come and join us on this. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when is this going to be open? Can people start booking it immediately?
Absolutely, we're open now. I'm more than happy that facilities are up to scratch. We've got staff. Imvelo's got a good staff team. We've got lots of chefs, we've got lots of waiters, we've got lots of cooks. Obviously, we've got lots of guides, and so that team is available right away. So, and obviously we are taking on new staff again, which is good. We're creating employment, and the newbies are working under the experienced veterans, and they're learning their trade. So, but yeah, Mlevu camp is open. We're ready to go.
Wonderful. And I really encourage us all step up and do something very meaningful in 2025. And as you say, make the world a better place. The world is a bit chaotic at the moment, but what's in our control, this is a wonderful initiative. So well done to the whole Imvelo team. And what I also love, and I think will be a very positive impact coming out of this ecotourism lodge, is that I think it will help the momentum of the Mlevu Sanctuary to really go quicker. And this also feeds into our longer term aspirations for the White Rhino project in down in those boundaries. So hopefully we can get onto Sanctuary 3, 4, and 5, just that much quicker, which is what we all want to do and see. So there's so many benefits to this program and to this new initiative. So please, to the trade and anyone watching today, definitely, follow along. I'm going to send the link out in this presentation. Go and have a look at the website, get in touch with myself, any of our reps around the world, our res team. We'll be more than happy to get you involved as quick as possible. Follow along on Imvelo's Instagram page, Imvelo Safari Lodges Zim. They'll be definitely posting about it and sharing some great stories and images, as well as on my page, Africa Hidden Gems. That's something I'm very very much looking forward to sharing as we go through the year and reporting back on some of the great stories that guests, the trade, and our people on the ground have to say about it. So thank you, Butch, for your time today, and yeah, good luck as the year gets going. And I can't wait to get down to Hwange and see it all in action during the course of the year.
Thank you, Haley, and thanks very much, everybody else, for listening to us. Sorry I droned on for a bit long, but looking forward to seeing you there soon. Cheers.
It's all relevant and for such a worthy cause. So thanks, Butch. So awesome seeing you. Ciao.
Ciao. Thanks.